Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We have made it to middle of the week, the work week anyways, and I'm excited to be here with you this morning to talk about some cool stuff going on in Muscatine, right here in our community. So many people with amazing talents, and it's fun to be able to showcase some of them on the show. Like always, I need to start off by letting you know what national holidays you should be celebrating today. Big things today. So today is National DJ Day. So all you DJs out there, it is your day. So also National Penguin Day. I was looking last night and I found so many cute little penguin videos and pictures. So today, to celebrate, you should get on and check some of those out. Also, National Cheese Lovers Day. So I love cheese. Cheese is great. And we asked our friend Delmer from the deli to tell us some of his favorites. So he brought over a few of his favorites, and the deli over there is crazy. Did you know that there's over 120 varieties of cheese right here at Hy-Vee? So much cheese. So I asked him to bring over some of his favorites, and he brought over, okay, for you cheese lovers, if you want to celebrate today, come out and grab some of these, because Delmer, he knows his cheese, so you should trust this guy. Carr Valley Applewood Smoked Gouda. That's one of his favorites. They have that, and then obviously you have the cheese curds, because cheese curds are amazing. And these are actually from Wisconsin, and there are 5 flavors of those. You can get the, I don't remember what the exact flavor. I like the spicy one that they have back there. And they have, just everything. Mango fire cheese, come on. There are so many different varieties back there in Hy-Vee for you guys to try on National Cheese Lovers Day. He brought over, blue cheese. I don't know how I feel about blue cheese. I know some people really love it, but it freaks me out. But they have it. They have blue cheese for all of you people who dig that kind of thing. And this was one of his top favorites, Kerrygold Dubliner, natural cheese here. It's imported from Ireland, so that sounds super fancy. Come get yourself some cheese for National Cheese Lovers Day and enjoy that today. Also, I have some cheese jokes for y'all. I will throw those out during the show, but I will definitely start with one since we're talking about cheese right now. Why wouldn't the cheddar hang out with the knife? Yeah, you're thinking, but he had greater plans. I know, I cracked myself up. Also today, this day in history, which is sponsored by our friends at Lutheran Living every single day. Today, actually, there weren't a ton of things. Obviously, the inaugurations and stuff like that, which we know is happening today. I did find one, though, that I kind of thought was pretty interesting. Today, this day in history, the lowest recorded temperature in the continental U.S., so ever, was in Montana, those poor people. It dipped to negative 69.7 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh my gosh. I walked out the door to go start the car and stuff this morning. I always do that to get it all warmed up for the kiddos. And it's 11 degrees. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cold. I just can't stand it. Seriously, negative 69.7 degrees in Montana is the lowest ever recorded temperature in the U.S. So holy bananas, people. If you live in Montana, I'm very sorry that you have to deal with that cold, but holy cow. So I also, before we get started with the guest, I want to make sure to thank our sponsors of the show, which, like I said, include Lutheran Living, CBI, Toyota of Muscatine, and then obviously Hy-Vee here with the Market Grille Express Studios, loaning us some space every day to put this show on for you so that we can give people in the community a platform to talk about all the great things that they're doing. So thank you to our sponsors. I am excited about our guest. I told you guys yesterday and gave you a little tip on who would be joining us, but Chris is joining us. He's actually part of our team who produces the show every single day, and we were trying to decide how he would be producing the show and also be the guest on the show. He said he could do it, but luckily Coop and Jess have it handled for him today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And being on the other side of the camera today. I was so excited to see that you finally are getting this. I mean, I've seen some of these pieces that you've done, and we've talked just in general about some of the meanings behind some of the paintings that you've done and why you kind of do it. But I just absolutely love it. I'm glad that you're getting a platform to share it with the community in such a big way. So tell us, first of all, let's start, before we start digging into the actual paintings, tell us about the event that's coming up.
Well, February 12th through the 27th, I have my first art exhibition at Sunrise Galleries.
Yep.
And very excited about that.
Yeah. So what's that look like for someone who wants to go? Are they open certain hours, or will you be there at all for people to come chat with you?
I'm going to be there in the grand opening, or
sure.
I believe the 12th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you want to go and you actually want to chat in person, you can go visit with them about some of the amazing work that you've not only put, and sold, but you've also made our town beautiful with some of your murals as well, and brought a lot of color and light to our downtown area, which is amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
I don't want to sound cheesy, but it's been a privilege.
I like it. See? Cheesy. That's what she said. Sorry, I'm so funny. They're all laughing at me. It's funny, right? Yeah. We're funny. We're so funny. But legit, like, this is a big deal for someone to be able to have, like, I mean, you're an art show, like, it's the real deal. So one of my favorite parts about the things that you do is it's not just art that you don't just start scribbling. You have a lot of meaning behind the paintings that you do, and you always put a lot of thought into what you're going to do and what it means. So let's dig in.
Okay.
Let's dig into the first one.
Okay.
So this is the first one here. What's the name of this one?
That one's titled Sail.
Sail. I love it. So there are a lot of things. Another cool thing about art is that, like, things that you might notice about this piece, well, obviously you drew it, so you know everything, but, someone looking at it, I might notice something totally different and it might stand out to me, and, Cooper might look at it and totally notice something completely different and think there's a totally different meaning behind that. So I love that about art. So tell us about this one.
Well, this one depicts Salvador Dali. That's my first artist. I was trying to use his style of artwork. He has a painting called Melting Clocks that I'm sure people are familiar with.
Yeah.
So I took the composition of that painting and kind of tried to give it a new meaning, or maybe have a little bit of a different meaning.
Yeah.
Little things that people don't know is that Salvador Dali suffered from depression and bullying throughout his life. And the birds kind of represent, there's one white bird getting chased around by a bunch of other ones. It's kind of the anti-bullying message.
Yeah.
And the guy at the end of the dock kind of watching it all happen.
Yep.
But even better, if you look at the actual painting of Melting Clocks, you'll notice that there's a desk right here. And for some reason, Salvador Dali learned that microorganisms, when they dehydrated themselves, could live indefinitely. And yeah, it sounds crazy because it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So after his wife died, he started to dehydrate himself, thinking that it would help him, at least his mental, live on. And so I started the painting off with a waterfall, kind of representing what he was missing.
Yeah.
And the boat kind of represents sailing past that to a warm place.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yes. Super cool.
It actually sold yesterday.
It sold yesterday,
Yep.
so that's amazing. People are loving the art that you do, and you should be super proud. This is cool. This is very cool. And to think about, I mean, just the art that people do and how you use it to express yourself and the things that you've got going on in your own mind and what's going on in the world. I mean, bullying is like a real thing. And so super cool that you have so many different meanings in that one painting. I have to, are you okay with me moving? Do you have anything else? Okay. So this is one of my favorites. Probably my favorite. And tell us about this one. This one's cool.
This is Van Gogh.
Yes.
A Starry Night set to a sunny day in Muscatine. A lot of people don't know that Van Gogh suffered from suicidal tendencies and depression. And, you know, like he cut his own ear off. And he really wasn't very well known until after his death for his paintings. But actually, when he painted A Starry Night, he was in a psychiatric ward, and the view that he had from his window was a starry night. So I tried to represent from my window at the time where I was living and what I saw or felt, and just try to put a sunny day into it. And people have really liked this one. I've made many prints of this, and it's been well received.
And people can buy your prints.
Yes.
And I've always thought like a postcard, or I mean, we've talked about that, like some of your paintings of Muscatine. I mean, how cool to send a postcard to a friend of you know, the different paintings that you've done of Muscatine. But so this one actually, what was your first ever painting?
First ever painting.
Like that you've done and actually sold, and you know, like I'm sure you've been painting for years, but
probably when I was in college, I did a couple that sold for a little bit. You know, and that's kind of how it gets started. You're like, oh, somebody wants to buy this. Yeah. And then it feels great.
That is awesome. I love the meaning that is behind this. I love that you took your, like you said, your view out of the window and the things that are important and that you notice about Muscatine and put them in this painting. And so the actual name of the exhibition has to do with this.
Yes. Well, this was the most well-received painting, and a lot of people didn't really notice the other ones. So I figured that if we called it Beyond a Sunny Day, we could start to talk about the subject matter in the painting and then the other paintings too.
Yeah. How did you come up with that name, the Beyond the Sunny Day?
Well, believe it or not, Jim Elias helped me with that name.
Okay.
You know, we worked together on trying to figure out how to reach people and have them understand the what we're trying to do and the message. So it just fit perfectly. Yeah.
It's super cool. I love it. I love it. Some other cool, I mean, you've done a ton. I love, let me grab this one too, actually.
Okay.
So this one here, this is actually of a cat that some people might know, right?
Yes, Boots.
This is Boots.
Yep.
And Boots is actually the cat that lives at MCSA. Cool.
Well, and here's a funny story about this. In 2016, I was asked to illustrate a children's book for the MCSA, so that way when children come, they could have a story to read, and also adults that come could see what accommodations are provided by the MCSA, because they provide a lot of different things that people don't know about.
Sure.
And I looked on the wall. Actually, I stayed at the MCSA for a bit, and on the wall I saw a photograph of a cat that lived in the MCSA back in the 90s, and so that's where the story actually started. But would you know that after we got the book published, they found a cat at the Humane Society that almost looked identical to that cat? And then the cat became real. A lot of people don't understand that the book came first and then the cat, they think that the cat came first.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
That is super cool. I think you're right. I mean, one of the things that I love about your story and all of that is just that I think it's an inspiration to other people to know that there is something, and this is kind of how I took that painting, and the name of the show itself is like, there is there is light, there is hope, there is like beyond any, I don't know, you know, we have like these days where it's like, oh, okay, this is a really good day. And then we always expect that it's just gonna like, okay, well, the sunny day's over and, you know, we had a great time, but now it's back to reality. And the truth is there's hope beyond that sunny day, and you can continue. Obviously, every day in your life can't be the most perfect day, but there is hope beyond your sunny day, and there is hope beyond any problem that you might have. And so cool.
So this artist, though, Louis Wayne, suffered from schizophrenia. He's a famous artist. And in the beginning of his career, he did cats. He made several children's books that were published nationwide. And as he aged, his schizophrenia got worse, and his cats started to become very much more trippy, I guess you'd say. He started drawing like fractals, and they went from looking like regular cats to looking like blacklight poster cats, which, if you watch the transgression of his disease, you can see how his artwork was affected. And that's what this one represents.
Yeah, super cool. And you mentioned the book too, and we have a copy of that here. So this, when was this written? When was this
2016, I do believe.
2016. So cool. I mean, all of these. You guys, this is still available. People can still purchase this book. It's a great way to talk about just homelessness and the things that people go through, and kind of the light at the end of the tunnel with kiddos. And it's a great way to do that and start that conversation about caring and giving to others, and all of that. Everybody's, you know, different. There's so many different things inside this book, but this is available still to purchase, and you most definitely should. It's cool.
It is
people
awesome.
Right here in Muscatine.
Yep. Becky Whitmore wrote the story, and I illustrated it. Big shout out to her.
Yes, it's so cool. You guys definitely want to check this book out too. So many cool things that you've done, Chris.
Here, I'll grab this other one real quick.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites. Here you go.
Tell me about this one.
So this is my personal favorite.
Okay.
And it never sold or anything. And I kind of like that about it, because it's hard to understand. And how you were saying about interpretation, that's what this is all about.
Yep.
This artist is named Jean Basquiat. And he was very, I guess he wasn't popular, but he was in the scene in Lower Manhattan, in the art scene. He hung out with Andy Warhol, who got all the fame. I mean, everybody knows his name. But a lot of people don't know about Basquiat. The message for me, I mean, it's a matter of interpretation, but basically, nothing's impossible. You can find a way, you know, if you just be patient and just have good intentions, eventually you'll get where you want to be. You know, that's what I take of it, but it's a matter of interpretation.
Yes. I like, you know, like the question mark, and it's very cool.
Another thing is that Basquiat died of a heroin overdose at the age of 27. He suffered from substance abuse all of his life, and it's sad that at such an early age he passed without ever really getting any recognition or having any kind of money, so to speak, or whatever. But would you know that he is the highest paid artist at auction ever, nationwide in America, at $110 million. One of his paintings sold for after his death, which, I mean, it's much more than any other American artist ever. I think that's kind of ironic. And
and to know that while he was alive, I wonder how that would have changed his path, you know?
That's right.
If he was noticed before his
or maybe
death,
if he could have just had some help with his substance abuse.
Yep.
He was also Haitian, so there's lots of, I feel like maybe he didn't get the credit he needed because of his race. You know, or at the time it wasn't really quite the hip thing. His artwork influenced hip hop culture, grunge culture. A lot of those CD covers and things like that that you see that came out during that time were influenced by him. And little did anybody know, he pretty much changed the way we see music and things like that.
It's amazing the impacts that we have on people and the things that we do. And sometimes it goes unsaid. I talk about that a lot, how, you know, if you see something that you like, or if you have a compliment for someone, say it, because you never know. And you never know how that's going to impact someone. And so, I mean, when you see something you like, or when you see a talent that someone has, give them recognition and tell them how cool it is and that you like it, you know, because it can mean a lot to someone.
It means a lot to me. I've waited a long time to talk about all these.
Yes,
It's awesome.
this is so cool. Do you have, I don't know, this might be like a loaded question. Do you have like a plan for a painting that you're going to get ready to do? Or is that a secret? Is it like a secret?
No,
question?
no.
Okay.
I'm always open for whatever, you know, and I'm just kind of been just thinking about what is the next thing to do, you know. Sometimes you don't know where your path's leading, but you just know it'll lead to where you need to go.
So when you do paintings and stuff, it's just like, it's not something you necessarily plan, it's just something that sort of comes to you, or something that's happening in life that inspires it?
Well, these pictures were actually
Inspired by other people, yeah.
Well, and the subject matter fit well with the MCSA, and you know, a lot of people that are there that are struggling with these conditions, you know, I can relate with that. I've been through a lot of things like that. I had ADHD growing up, and I took medications, and you know, I understand depression and anxiety, and you know, there's a lot of people that feel like they're hopeless, or they're alone and no one's hearing them, and you know, that's not true. They just need to know that they can reach out, or they could, you know, find a way to help themselves get feeling better. I mean, a lot of it has to do with being healthy.
Yeah.
You know,
really wanting it, and
yeah.
I hope that you all, we talk all the time about local businesses and supporting them. Go and support a local artist, and wow, like that would mean so much to Chris. But you will, I mean, your eyes will be open to the meaning behind the paintings that you'll see. You can get prints of your own, you know. So many, it's a great way for you all to really support something that you put so much work and passion into. So I hope a lot of people will go, and that's February 12th through the 27th, right downtown, Sunrise Gallery. And it's your opportunity to go check it out. On the 12th, Chris will be there to talk through some of the paintings, and hey, maybe you can even inspire him to do something else if you have something on your mind that you'd like to see painted in a picture.
I'm hoping that I inspire someone else.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's someone out there that can relate or knows my story, and I hope this reaches you and touches you and helps you understand that it's not hopeless.
Yeah.
You know,
there's
life beyond a sunny day.
Yes.
You know.
Yep. I think that your story, like I've said, is what is so inspiring, to know that, you know, sometimes we have to hit that rock bottom. We have to like go through something really rough and pull ourselves out of it, like you have. And I mean, the things that you're doing now, like, I mean, 10 years ago, would you have ever thought,
No.
you know, that you'd have your own art show and you?
My mom knew I would, but
Moms
I
know
didn't.
everything.
Yeah, she does.
Moms know everything.
Yep.
It's true.
Shout out, Mom.
Yes. So your mom told you that you would.
Oh yeah, always. And she still thinks that I have much farther to go. I mean, this is great, but you know, I'd like to reach more people and spread my message, or you know, try to help others in a big way.
Beyond Muscatine.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
I like that.
Beyond Muscatine. That's next. I think that your mom's probably right. I think that you have a lot more to share. I think people appreciate not only the things that you've done throughout town, but I think once they really see these and know the story behind them and what inspired you and why you chose those particular artists to depict your own paintings from, I think that's pretty cool stuff. So. Anything else?
Well, I brought up some murals and some different artwork that I think Jess
Yeah, these are the things around town that you've done, right?
Yep.
So I think Jess has a few that we can pull up.
So this was the holiday stroll at First National Bank. It was quite a pleasure painting this. I'm sure a lot of people, didn't know I did this maybe, but experienced it and maybe had a good time walking through the holiday stroll.
Yes, it's beautiful. I hope it makes it all winter long.
Well, they're hoping to keep it, I think, until the end of January or so.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
It is fun.
Very cool. And then I think there's other ones too that you've actually painted like on the sides of buildings.
Yep.
This one's cool.
Yeah, this is Angel Wing Selfie Station behind Salon Incognito and Rule and Roll Realtors right there.
Yep.
And so it's meant so you can stand in front of it and take your picture with the angel wings.
Yes, I've seen some of those kind of floating around that people have taken. That's very cool.
The building actually, it wraps all the way around the building. That's my first whole building mural.
That is super cool. It does wrap all the way around. Look at that.
So this one is at 2nd and Iowa above, what is that? I'm not quite sure. It's right at the corner of 2nd and Iowa.
Yeah.
You just got to look up.
Yep.
I think I did this one in 2016, but I updated it last year. I turned the Clam Man solid gold because I just didn't like the darkness of it.
Yep.
I was trying to go for that bronze look, but
Yep.
it wasn't really doing it for me. So you'll notice that it's metallic gold now.
Yes.
And it shines in the sun, and
Yep.
a lot
Very
of people
cool.
notice that one.
Yeah, just have to look up.
Here's Sticks and Stones. I painted that logo from a
Very
friend, and
cool.
a lot of people don't know that that's an actual painting and not a sticker. A lot
Yeah.
of people think it's a vinyl sticker.
So, like, these are things that you can do, you
Yeah.
know, for other businesses in town. Very cool. Something unique, and I really like what it's outside of Wild Thing, right?
Yeah, I think we have that one too.
Do we have it?
Yeah.
That's actually, well, first of all, Wild Thing's one of my favorite places.
Yeah, me too.
That is like, I always say, like, whenever I'm feeling like I'm having a bad day or anything like
The
that.
sunset.
It's the place that I go. It's like my place. Megan always like has this way of like shining her light into me and like making me feel better by the time I leave. And I love just going through all of the stuff that they have inside the store. It's a very cool store if you haven't been there, but it's also a very cool place to go, even to just look around,
Yes.
even to just take a minute to like decompress. And I'm absolutely certain that Megan will become that person for you too.
Shout out to Megan.
Yes,
I haven't been down there for a while, but I'll be there very soon.
She is one of my people. She like is just like a shining light. And I love that you painted outside of that. I feel like it really like, it sort of opened the doors to the Wild Thing and made you like realize that there was this cool little place inside there.
I love the store. It's every time I walk in there, there's new stuff, and
Yes.
it's just so much to look at.
Yep.
Here we have that mural outside, and this isn't quite finished yet. There's going to be some grass along the bottom, and then maybe some items in the grass. And down at the end there by the mural, there's a waterfall. There's at Wildcat Den, what is that, pine greased mural?
Yep,
Yeah, I'm going to paint that on the waterfall, so it'll represent
cool.
Muscatine that way too.
Very cool. Beautiful paintings all over. I encourage you guys to take a little trip downtown and try to find some of these and take a picture with some of the, like the wings and stuff like that. It amazes me how, like, even the painting that you did on the window at First National, it's like, I wouldn't, like, a canvas that large, it's like, how do you even begin? And you just do. You just begin, and then it happens.
Well, I think
amazing.
we got one picture of the back of the Pearl Museum,
Yeah.
and that was actually the first big mural I did in town here. And when I did that, being that it's so large,
Yeah.
I was actually intimidated. I never really took on something that big.
Yeah.
And so I understand what you mean by, it being so big and thinking that way.
Yep.
But then after you do it, it's like, that wasn't so big. If you
Yeah.
think about it in pieces,
Right.
it helped me have confidence
Yeah.
and do more.
It's a cool way to look at things, like any problem or anything that is huge and is intimidating. you can break it down
Yep.
and make it easier and make it not feel like such a big problem
Yeah.
or a big, you know.
And by the way, that On the Wild thing, that sunset, that was inspired by Mark Twain. He wrote about Muscatine having the most beautiful sunsets.
Yes, and we do.
We do.
It's true.
And actually, if you read the poem, it goes on to talk about the colors that were in the sky. And so when I was painting that, I actually used that as my instructions to try to use those words to paint a picture of them.
Yep.
And it turned out really cool. I love it.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
There's the Pearl Museum. In 2016, me and my friend Joe Bernard worked together painting this.
Very cool.
It was really fun. And then after that, I come to learn a lot about Muscatine history and how Pearl opened up the doorways to a lot of corporate entities and, you know, worldwide. The Pearl was a status thing back then, and a lot of the people that purchased Pearl were the, you know, owners of companies that shipped overseas. And there's really how a lot of our corporate factories in town got started, or at least the connections.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It is super interesting, and I think that's another cool thing when, as you've been doing these murals and things around town, the way that you've gotten to know different people and learn different things along the journey is pretty cool. So I truly, truly hope that you guys go and check out, you know, February 12th through the 27th. Check out some of these pieces. Purchase, you know, a print for your own home or office.
30% of proceeds go back to MCSA, by the way.
Very cool. Very cool. So not only are you supporting a local artist, but also MCSA, a local organization that helps.
Here we have some cards that will also be available. They come in a pack of 4.
Very cool.
For, I think, $20.
Yep.
And the prints that I just showed you, I think they're $25.
Nice.
And they'll be available
I love it.
after the 12th.
That is so cool. So go and purchase some of these. I promise you won't regret going and chatting with Chris. It's always interesting, the knowledge that you have and stories that you have to share. So I really hope that everybody goes down and supports this, not only for Chris, but for MCSA. And I think you've said this a lot to me about, you know, it's not about the money that you get even. It's just, I mean, it's helped you along the journey. You've gotten to know so many cool people and hopefully inspire other people to know that there is hope.
Yes. One of the best things I've experienced is I'll go walking downtown and I'll see people that I don't know that are stopped and taking pictures with my artwork and just enjoying it for themselves. And sometimes I'll go up and introduce myself, but a lot of the times I don't because I just like them to enjoy it themselves.
Yep.
But whenever I do, they just can't believe that I did it, you know? And sometimes I can't either.
Sometimes I can't either. I love that. I'm super proud of you. I'm excited that you are a part of our team and that I get the pleasure of seeing you every day. Well, Monday through Friday, I guess. Not always on the weekends. But it's cool. It's cool to know what talent we have, and I love being able to showcase that. And if you guys have talents like Chris, please share them with us so that we can, you know, do our part to showcase what great things you're doing. But I guess don't forget that it's National Cheese Day. We need to celebrate that.
Keep it cheesy.
Keep it cheesy. And if you don't like our cheese jokes, well, you must be lactose intolerant. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us today. It was cool to sit down and chat with you more in depth about your paintings, and I hope that you will all go and enjoy the art show. Pick up, you know, your 4-pack of cards. What a cool, I mean, that would be such a cool card to send to someone, a family or friends that live out of town, or you can keep them for yourself. But go check it out nonetheless. And I guess before we go, I thank our sponsors again, Toyota, Lutheran Living, Hy-Vee, CBI for sponsoring the show and giving us this platform to chat about all the really cool stuff that is going on in Muscatine. And I remember that kindness is free. So spread that
it
stuff.
around.
Yep, spread that stuff wherever you go. We'll see you next time.